Welcome to Bunnyfish Crafts. I'm your host Heather, known as Bunnyfish on Ravelry, Instagram, and YouTube. Today is Tuesday, the 26th of May, 2015, and this is episode 130, Kindergarten Wrap-Up. Grab some sticks and string and come sit with me. This is the last week of kindergarten. Last week was crazy for kindergarten, and I imagine this week will also be pretty crazy. There were field trips and days that families were invited, and I didn't go to all of the days that I could have gone to last week, but I did go to a park day. They had a field trip to a park that was right by the school, and so Mara and I went to the park and played with Gabriel and his classmates, and that was fun. But this week, we have kindergarten graduation is on Friday. When did kindergarten graduation become a thing? I don't remember having kindergarten graduation, so maybe I did, but when did that become a thing? Anyway, it's just an excuse for me to cry publicly over my child, I guess, because I'm not ready. I'm not ready for the school year to be over, because then he'll be grown up and practically going to college and stuff. He's ready to be a first grader. He's already certain that he's going to have a week off of school and then go back and be a first grader. He hasn't quite got the concept of summer break. So that will be interesting. We'll see how that is in 2 weeks when I've had my first week of summer break. Probably be crazy. Anyway, let's talk about knitting. Yeah? All the Small Things Knit Along is going fabulously. You guys are awesome, and I am still way behind, but I'm going to catch up today because I would like to draw for a winner of prizes. So I'm going to show you the prizes that are up for grabs, and the winner who is drawn this week gets to pick one. So first, there is this set of adorable little cards. There are two of these, one of these, one of these, and they have little sayings on the back. So they're just little tags for knitting gifts, and they're super cute. And they are from knitbapearl.com. Or a set of 4 stitch markers that are little flowers with leaves. Or a set of 4 mini skeins, which we will discuss based on what project you would be working on, what size the mini skeins would be, what colors, that sort of thing. Or a pattern up to $4. So 4 prizes to choose from, all dealing with 4. It's a very 4 thing at this prize drawing, but I'm not ready to draw the prize yet because I still have 2 sheets of paper that are full that need to be cut up, 1 sheet of paper that I'm writing on because I'm not caught up in the thread, so that needs to be cut up, but I do have all of these folded. So when I am all caught up in the thread later this afternoon and everything's cut up and in this jar, I will record a little video and insert it here with the prize winner. Okay, here are all the names with all the projects and stuff in the jar, and I'm going to draw 1 piece of paper. Ugh. And the winner of the prize is Rose Bob, who is Rose. For post 82, she made a khaki green hat. So there's all the information. So Rose, get in touch with me and let me know which prize you would like. The other big happening this week, sorry, I forgot to tell you before. The other big happening this past week is that Gabriel stomped on his new glasses because he was angry. He was told to clean something that he had been... It does not take 3 hours to clean a dining room. Maybe if he were in charge of wiping down the baseboards and washing the windows and everything, but he's not. That's still my job. He just has to clean off the table, pick up the floor, and do a really quick sweep. It doesn't even have to be a good sweep. It just has to be a sweep because he's only 6. And he had been in there for a couple hours, not cleaning, playing around, cleaning one thing every 10 minutes. And I went to work. Steve told him to go clean, and then Steve walked away to check on something else, and he heard a snap, and he said, "What was that?" And Mara walked in like 20 seconds later holding Gabriel's glasses in 2 pieces. So not pleased. They had been on his face, so it was definitely a Gabriel thing and not a Mara thing. So for the foreseeable future, Gabriel will be working off the cost of the glasses. The people were very nice and they covered them under the warranty, which it's not actually a warranty break, but they covered it anyway, which is fabulous. But he still needs to work off the cost of the glasses because it's not okay to break things when you're angry. And he also needs to learn the value of things. So what we're doing is, when it happened, Steve was so angry that he was like, "Go to your room. Your mom will figure out your punishment in the morning," because he was just so angry. He couldn't even like rationalize. And I was so angry too. I was like, I kind of want to ground him for the rest of his life. But grounding for something like that, like summer break is coming up. So if I were to ground him for summer break, for instance, that would be punishing me. That wouldn't be punishing him. So what we've done is, he always helps out around the house anyway, but now we have a chores list with a like money demarcation next to it, and he has to earn $4 a day at least toward glasses, and he's not allowed to, we're not going to purchase him any treats or anything until it's paid off, which is going to be rough because we're still going to be purchasing things for Mara every once in a while. I mean, I don't buy a lot of stuff for my kids anyway. They don't need a lot of stuff, but we'll still be buying for Mara, but not for Gabriel. And I think that will be the thing that will be like, oh, I get it now. I'm hoping. Because glasses are expensive. And you can't just be doing things like that. Anyway, knitting podcast. Finished object. I finished Allegria's mitts, and the pattern is nearly finished being written up. I should be able to finish it, barring anything crazy happening this afternoon. I'm going to do the drawing stuff, and then I'm going to finish up the pattern. So hopefully this afternoon, but no later than tomorrow, I should have the pattern out to test knitters, and this is what they kind of look like. The yarn is Maverick Yarns, colorway last summer, and I need to still block these mitts before I send them out and take a couple pictures, and then I will be getting these out to Allegria, so hopefully she likes them, and they match my dress so nicely. I worked them on US size 1, 2.25 millimeters. And yeah, that pattern should be going out to test knitters soon, so probably sometime next month-ish. The ZK happens at the end of next month, so I don't know how realistic that is for me to be thinking anything's going to get finished then, but hopefully in the next month-ish that pattern will be up and available. I have works in progress. I have something that was almost a finished object and could have very well been finished object, but no. The Galaxy Mittens by Kate Klemp. They are almost finished. You see that? See that? That's the thumb thing. It's on the incorrect hands, but that is where my thumb will go. The waste yarn for the thumb. Yes, that is what I'm trying to say. That's the waste yarn for the thumb. So I was here last week. I finished off the mitts. Both of them are finished and Kitchener closed. I just have to go back and do the thumbs. I finished them on Sunday. Should have done the thumbs yesterday, but yesterday was Memorial Day in the US, and we had a family get-together. So I didn't really want to have this as my get-together knitting because I had to pay attention to a chart. Not a lot, but a little bit, and I didn't want to mess up because it's a sample for the Leading Men Fiber Arts for their booth. So I decided to take a different project to that. So these should be done in the next couple days. I would like to say today, but that's saying all the things are going to happen today, and that's ridiculous, right? So here are the mitts. The dark color is Leading Man Fiber Arts. They're both showcase base, and the dark color is Darkest Hour, and the purple is Royalty. The mitts are worked on US size 1, 2.25 millimeter for the color work, and US 0 for the ribbing, which is a 2.0 millimeter. The project that I took with me to family get-together is my Delancey cardigan, patterned by Alexa Winslow, and I am past the second stripe on the body. I don't really know what that means. I'm more than halfway through I'm probably getting close to where I split for the sleeves, it looks like. Okay, so here are my stitch markers. Here is where I was last week. So I did all of this yesterday because I didn't pick it up until yesterday, but I did that much at the family get-together. A little bit in the car on the way to and from. And this is my counting marker. So that's 50 rows, I think. So I'm getting close, I think, to the armhole split. I need to count again because I haven't counted since this marker. And it was my goal to have the sweater finished by the end of this month, but I don't think that's going to happen. I just had that big stint where I lost all knitting mojo, so it might happen, it might not. But it's a lot farther than it was yesterday, so that's exciting. Also, a work in progress that I haven't actually worked on in a couple weeks is the Ad Hoc Mystery Knit Along shawl, which I also wanted to have finished this month, and it's still only like this big. That's not being finished this month. Maybe next month. I started a new project, though, which was also on my blanket of things to finish, and this one could possibly be finished this month still. These are Cecilia's Christmas socks. So the toes I made out of Lion Brand Sock Ease in the cotton candy colorway, and I made Cecilia a pair of socks out of Lion Brand Sock Ease cotton candy colorway forever ago, 3 years ago maybe, a very long time ago. I made them for her, and she wore them, and her dog ate the legs on them, so I re-knit the legs onto them, and then she outgrew them, so she gave them to Mara, and Mara wore them a ton, and then they got another hole in them, and I just decided it was time for them to not be those particular socks anymore. So both of the girls will have the toes and cuffs of their socks knit in the cotton candy. And then the main portion of Cecilia's socks is in 716 knit, 716 sock. I don't remember the colorway name for sure, and the tag is not on my desk where I can find it. It's probably here, I just didn't find it this morning. I need to clean off my desk. But I believe it's something like my entire shoe collection is based on the concept of dating guys 3 inches taller than me or more. Something like that. It's an entire sentence. It's from the Daria Club colorway, and it's based off of the, I don't remember what that group of girls is called, Quinn and her friends, the popular girls. I have to admit that when this colorway came in the mail and I saw it in the hank, I was like, oh, I don't like that. I actually kind of hated it. I was like, well, it's something totally different and it's fine. You know, sometimes you have those moments in clubs where you're like, I don't know about this. And then I balled it up using the center part from my ball binder, which I've gotten rid of everything except the center part to use as a Nasta pin. So I balled it up, and I'm working from the inside and outside of that ball. And I was still like, it's slightly better in the ball than in the hank, but not great. And now I'm knitting it up and I'm like, Jenna is a genius. While it's not a color that I would necessarily pick out for something for me, it's kind of brilliant. And I think that these socks need to be unicorn bodily function socks, basically. UBF for short, because look, this is totally unicorn vomit, right? Like cupcakes and frosting and icing, that's what it looks like. And unicorn poop, because you know that it's not brown. And then, I don't know what this would be, but you can imagine, maybe like unicorn blood. I don't know. Bodily functions of unicorn is captured in this sock, which I think is perfect for Cecilia. And I really, really, really like this colorway for a little girl, not necessarily for me. I think it's kind of brilliant. And these stripes, I don't know if you can tell, but these stripes are all different sizes. I mean, obviously the aqua turquoisey stripe is very, very thin, but the speckle stripe and the semi-solid stripes, they're different sizes. I think you can tell, but maybe not. It's a 3 round difference, I think, something like that, which is very cool. And obviously a lot of work. Jenna is brilliant, and she puts a lot of work into her yarn. But you know, I'm like super into her stuff. The pattern I'm using is just my child tube sock recipe, and I'm using US size 2.25 millimeter needles to make it. I didn't make any hex puffs this week. Just didn't. Thought about it, didn't. I did make a barn raising square though. So this is number 25, and it is 2 mini skeins from Ellie again. So it's the drops. I had to have this green. That green had to be for me. So the change happens somewhere in this blue. In this blue stripe, that's where I changed the second skein. And the rest of that skein will be used for hex puffs. And I really, really, really like this square. It's so fun. I love the pinks and the greens and the purples and the brownish and blue, and just, it's gorgeous. And the brilliant thing about mini skeins is that I don't know that I would love this yarn in a project. Like a whole pair of socks in a colorway that's crazy, that is that crazy, might be kind of fun, but not necessarily for me. Like these aren't colors that I would necessarily be like, I need that in my sock drawer. I would probably wear it, honestly, but I like that it's a mini and I get to see it and test it and play with it and have all of those fun things, and then I'm done with that color. Sometimes I get color fatigue on projects, even small projects like socks or mitts. That's all my knitting content. Oh my gosh, such a short show today. So I don't have anything new. I finished reading This Is All, The Pillow Book of Cordelia Ken by Aidan Chambers, and I love this book so much. I think that it is a sign for me of a good book. First of all, when I want to reread it, and second of all, when it is as emotionally impactful the second time as it was the first time. There is a big something that happens in the book. I mean, that's how most books are, right? So when the big something happened, even though I knew it was coming, it still was as impactful as the first time I read it. So I highly recommend this book. It's very, very good. It's well written. It's very interestingly written. The sections are very... Each pillow book is written differently, and I can't say how good it is. If you want a review, go check out Amazon or something, or your library, and read reviews and summaries there. Just, I love this book and I highly recommend it. I'm still listening to A Dragonfly in Amber. I think I'm almost halfway through. Between a third and a half. I don't exactly remember which disc I'm on. And I feel like I was listening to it last night and they mentioned something in passing that I feel like I should know exactly what they're talking about. And it seems like it would be a big thing, but I don't remember. So I'm going to go back a disc and listen all the way through that disc. because I feel like I should remember this thing that they're talking about, and I don't. So I probably just blanked out for a couple tracks. It happens sometimes. I try to go back when I realize that it's happening and listen to the part again, but I don't always catch it. When I finished The Pillow Book of Cordelia Ken, I picked up Never Lend a Book You Love to Someone You Only Like by Garrett M. Carlson. This is the book that I won. Oh, there's something on the cover. Need to wipe off the cover. This is the problem of having small children. They touch things with their dirty hands. This is the book that I won from the Sort of a Knitter podcast that is signed by Garrett. And the reason why I picked up this book, it's good, by the way. The book is good. It's a series of essays mostly about love, but a lot about his self. It's a lot of self examination and love. They're short essays. They're really quick reads. I've been reading one-ish a night before bed, sometimes a couple, but usually one. And if I need a quick break and don't feel like knitting, because that happens sometimes, I read another essay. The reason why I decided to read this book next is I was in a VKN a couple weeks ago. I wanted to VKN a couple weeks ago, and nobody was around. And then Jenna was like, hey, I'm around, but only for a few minutes. And she was visiting Garrett. So I got to meet Garrett in a VKN. It was very exciting. He was ironing shirts. It was a big deal. But I'm enjoying the book so far. I would recommend checking it out if you like essays. This is a good collection. It's nice because they have different tones about them. It's not all one note. And I'm enjoying it so far. Oh, that's all I have. So I hope you made something fantastic with your 6 and string, and I will see you next week. Bye.